What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today is new cycling gear unboxing day. I have a couple pickups that I picked up over the last 2 weeks from Black Friday, Thanksgiving, leading all the way up to Christmas. A lot of bike shops have been doing a lot of good deals lately. The cycling industry hasn't been doing too well selling bikes and everything like that just because everything is so expensive. So the fact that some bike shops are still discounting what they previously had and then the holiday deals on top of that made it such a good deal. So we're gonna dive right into everything that I picked up. Some of the things I've already unboxed just to check it out and make sure everything was good to go. First one is a new pair of cycling shoes. Yes, it seems like I get a new pair like every year, but once you kind of find that brand that you really do like, you are gonna keep purchasing them. So in this case, I bought a pair of Lake CX239s. This is the 2025 model, if I'm not mistaken, my usual size 45. And I had the Lake CX219 that I purchased last year. Really like that shoe. It only has one BOA dial, so I thought, well, if I find another Lake shoe that has 2 BOA dials, I'm gonna go for that for the extra little bit of adjustment. So I did that. I've already unboxed it and added cleats to it to make sure it fits, and I tried it on the trainer. So this is exactly what it looks like. I actually haven't ridden in them yet. So white and black model, got these for roughly 35 or 40% off. Now, you know, sometimes Lake on their website, they'll do an outlet deal for like 50% off or whatever it may be, but got these from Bikes Tires Direct. Already added a pair of cleats to them, fitted to exactly what I usually do. 2 BOA dials. The leather is a little bit better quality than the 219, so I'm really happy about that. Excited to use these for 2026 season. Next pickup, hopefully camera catches it. Swiftwick. So I heard about this brand about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago from one guy in my local cycling group. Over the past summer, I've seen a lot of people pick these up and I've noticed a lot of riders wearing this brand. So my friend Justin, if you're ever watching this, introduced me to this about a year and a half, 2 years ago. And he was saying his brother wears them for cycling, and I generally lean towards the basketball socks just because I previously played basketball. So a little bit of cushioning, but a lot of people say don't wear cushioning socks because it overheats. And especially when you are cycling, you don't need that thickness. So Swiftwick had a deal on their website. It was like 25% off socks. I bought the set because why not? 3 pairs of white Swiftwick socks because can't have enough white socks when cycling. And they are ultra thin, the Aspire model. Excited to test these out. I do have cycling socks from MAP and Rafa. The MAP ones I'm not too fond of, but the MAP ones are actually very nice. So I'm hoping these are a good alternative. So they ran about $15 each. Usually they're about 20 to 25. And I very rarely see them go on sale ever since my friend introduced me to them. So this was a decent pickup in my opinion. They do have outlet sales for other colors that might get even cheaper, down to like $8 to $10 from what I've seen. But for the white and black pairs, they usually just get down to this as the max discount. Excited to try these out. Next, we have a new pair of pedals. So my last pickup will kind of solidify why I purchased a new pair of pedals. So these are the Keo Blade carbons, not the most expensive ones like ceramic bearings and all that stuff. This is the most basic one. One cycling shop was actually getting rid of all their V3 or V4 models. I forgot which one is the latest. So this is the generation before the newest one. I think V4 is the absolute newest and these are V3s. So they were discounting them pretty heavy, and I think they're usually $175, $180 retail. I got these for about $100. It was the last one they had. So look, Keo Blade carbon wheels, or pedals, sorry. And then they have a torque blade of 8 Newton meters. So I think they have extra tension blades. So the extra tension blades that come in with this set is 12 Newton meters, if I'm not mistaken. 8 is perfectly fine with me. If I need that extra adjustment, I will. So these will essentially replace the Assos power pedals that I do have on my current bike, but depending on what comes next, these may go on that. My most recent video before this one has a cheap versus expensive cycling kit comparison. These I was really curious about. A lot of people on Reddit and online bike forums and everything like that rave about this brand. and they say that's one of the best bibs they've ever worn. Wanted to try it out. Also had a decent deal on these. Very nice packaging. Assos, I don't know what the exact pronunciation is. Let me know in the comments below how you actually pronounce it. I've seen a million people pronounce it different ways. Packaging looks really good. So this is the Mille GT Total Comfort C2. They're not that expensive for this brand compared to all the other bibs out there. So I think I paid like $110 for these, which is the cheapest I've ever seen. Not even sure how to fully unbox it, but slide out the paper, unwrap it. Wow. So you have the bibs wrapped up, like balled up together, and then you have plastic covering, take it off. And here they are. So first impression on how they feel. Quality seems pretty good. Let me feel the chamois. It has like a mesh or honeycomb-like texture on the inside, so I'm curious how that is gonna work out. I might try these on the trainer on the inside. The chamois is actually really big, so you might get that extra coverage on the frontal area if that's something you're looking for. Padding feels good. Logo is just glued on what it seems like, but the straps feel okay. They do look like they would wrinkle pretty easy, they have some lines in it already, but maybe after washing it once or using it over time, they will stretch out. I know with the YKYW bibs I mentioned in my previous video, those straps get crunched up really easily, so I'm hoping that's not the case for these, but at least this says the model of it on the bibs. So really cool, excited to test these out and see if they actually live up to the potential or the rave what people are saying about them. Last but not least, my most expensive and biggest purchase that I am picking up for the Black Friday holiday season. Hopefully there may be one other purchase at the end of the year or the beginning of next year that will be noted in another video, but a couple of things. Don't have to pull everything out, but you get the point. Sram Force E1 E-Tap Access Group Set. I really wanted this group set once it first came out. I had a friend that rides Red E1. Tested on his bike, the ergonomics of the shifters feel really, really good. You have that extra bit of one finger braking because the lever is more extended up to the top of the shifter, which is really nice. And I'm not sure if anyone else has had this issue before, but sometimes I ride on the shifters like this. I wish I had the shifter here to show, but if you hold the hoods up normally like this, and then sometimes I ride on this for tucking in for a more aerodynamic position. If I run over any bumps or imperfections of the road, sometimes the lever where it connects to the top of the shifter clips the skin of my finger. So I don't know if that's just a me thing, but that should not be an issue with these. And the big thing, as I mentioned with the pedals, is that I actually opted for the Force crankset with power meter included on it. The one thing I did with this bike, with this purchase, is I wanted integrated power meter just because, why not? Having two bikes, I only had the Fabera Asioma pedals, so switching them back and forth was a little bit annoying, and the price that I paid for this crankset was a really, really good deal. I think the normal crankset retails for $455. After discounts and everything, I only paid $520 for this crank. As I mentioned, with power meter included, and shout outs to the shop that actually helped me out with this. So initially I purchased the power meter spider, which goes into the threaded chain rings, and I thought the normal crankset you can take off the crank arms, add the power meter spider onto it, but you cannot with that particular one, with the ones they currently offer. And then the one with the spindle, they don't offer that right now. They only offer it in wide, which is a little odd. So that was my initial replacement. But once I did the ordering process, they actually gave me a call and said, well, your setup is not gonna work. We can continue to order if you want to, or we're happy to upgrade you to this one and we'll swap out the parts. So I think it was like an $80 to $90 difference from what I recall from the invoice. And they're like, we're happy to take the hit, get you what you need. So very, very happy with this. This is a 50-37 chainring setup, 2x setup with 165 millimeter cranks. I currently ride 170 on my tarmac. That's a Force D2 setup, so the previous generation. And after my bike fit, I really enjoyed riding the 165 for the 20-30 minutes I was testing on the fit bike. The things that the bike fitter noticed, it opens your hip ankle a little more, and then if you have any knee issues, so previously I tore my ACL a couple years ago, so having a shorter crank definitely is nice to know. Overall Groupset, what I paid for was extremely low price in my opinion. I know a lot of bike shops are doing discounts these days. So I got the whole kit for about 30 something, 40% off. Some things were a little more than others, but have this Groupset ready to either throw onto the tarmac, and with taking off the Favero Assioma pedals, I will have the Keo Blades as the pedal replacement while this is the power meter. The only complaint I have about this power crankset is it still uses the coin cell battery. I wish it used the rechargeable method, just because swapping out batteries is annoying and having to consistently purchase them. But I feel like Sram did that as a weight reduction. Think about it versus a rechargeable battery versus a really, really lightweight coin battery. Minimal grams here and there, but as the average cyclist, I would prefer the rechargeable battery. As I mentioned, I don't know where I'm putting this Groupset on. It's either gonna go onto the tarmac and that's just gonna be it, or I'm currently looking at a bunch of frame sets right now. There are a couple brands I'm looking at, not the common ones that you kind of see in your store. So I'm hoping to either pick something up within the next few months before the 2026 cycling season starts, or I'm just gonna, like as I mentioned, throw this onto the tarmac and just sell my Merida and have one bike as is. So we'll see how that goes. Essentially all the pickups I picked up, like I said, Black Friday, holiday season time is literally the best time to purchase bike equipment, unless it's like end of season sale or something like that, which it usually is. During the middle of the summer, sometimes bike shops are trying to get rid of inventory to bring in new inventory. So really happy with all these pickups. The prices I paid, I have no regrets. Like I said, I'm excited the most about the Groupset, how that goes. Shoes, not too worried about. Socks are good. Pedals, interesting. And then obviously testing out the new Bibs. We'll see how that goes. And thank you for tuning into this video. Hopefully some of this stuff will be on something or be used to review in the future, but I really appreciate you guys tuning into this video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.